Hey everyone, it's Shiv here and welcome back to the channel. So today what we're going to be doing is we're going to actually be, sorry, hold on one second. I can't remember. Here it is. Okay. It looks a little bit weird, I know. So, I've decided I'm going to restart my 100 baby challenge, but I'm going to do it with a little bit of a twist. And the twist is, instead of starting off with a matriarch, we're going to start with a patriarch. That's right, we're starting with a male. But before we get too far into it, I want to go ahead and design the property that we're going to be using. So I have a few shells in mind. And I'm not sure what world I want to start in. I believe that's a 30 by 30. I don't really want to start in an apartment. Maybe we could start in Brilton Bay would also make sense. There's a 30 by 20 right there. There's a couple of 30 by 20s right here. So that could also be an option. There's a nice little park, but again, not really designed for kids. Honestly, I think if we would choose anything, it'd be in San Sequoia, because there's a 30 by 20 lot right here. There's also this one right here. We could also start here, because the celebration center is right there. We could also make some of these areas into a park. So I'm on the second generation on the save, so that's why some of the lots, if you notice, they're empty. And you're like, well, wait a minute, isn't so like robles are supposed to be here, and they've moved out. They moved out over here a while ago. But there are also other parts where they're at right now. So, excuse me if you hear me clearing or coughing. Recently, I am getting over the flu. There's also Mount Komorebi, but that would be very posh. And not to mention, there's not really that many places that I think we could really go into, and I really don't want to knock. Especially, I don't really want to knock this place down. I actually like this property, and I really don't want to. Holy crud, the Ito family keeps growing. As you can see, they're still all fine and dandy. So, I don't want to do Tartosa. Well, we could do Tamarang. There is this one, which is nice. But I'm just not a big fan. We could do the romance world. That might fit. Only problem is the only lot that's really empty is this one. And yeah. Ravenwood? Now, you want to talk about favorite worlds? This is one of my favorites right here. I haven't been into it in several playthroughs, but something we might change. Because I can always move my current sim generation here. Could do the fairy world. Gippy Point is the newest world we've gotten. We could also do it here with the getaways. There's also a nice little park. I've actually not looked at this park. Is it suitable for kids? Oh yeah, it's entirely suitable. We can even probably knock this tree off and add like a taller area, but it's definitely appropriate for children. I can definitely see that. So yeah. Actually, let's do it in Ghibli Point. So we'll start there. So now I've got to find a 30 by 20 lot. That's kind of what I've earmarked to start with. So I'm going to start over here, but that's not going to happen. I don't know if in a fresh save there's anyone on that, but let's take a look. Because I'm thinking, something to also think about, before we're going too much, is there's this hideaway that we could make into like a woohoo park where our person can really go here and we can like add all the woohoo objects. I'm sure someone's done it in the community, so we might look at that later. That'd be hilarious. Okay, so now that we've got that, let's go ahead and take a look at what we've got. Alright, so this is how the lot looks. Not a bad build. Like I said, a lot of these builds for the how they start have gotten so much better. Since they've had actual simmers do these. So they've gone miles better than what they used to be. Like some of the base game builds I'm planning on overhauling later at some point. So alright. We're gonna put it to morning and we are going to bulldoze everything. Nice clean slate. Alright. Like I said, I have a few shells. Now this is the one I am designing for my current Sims. So we'll start. Let's take a look at this one. Oh, wait, before I do that. Let's see. BB dot move objects on. Okay. So this would be what we'd probably start off with. So here's in one. I could see this being like the master bedroom with the bathroom. And then baby room. Infant kid / teen do bunk beds. All the bunk beds. And then actually that would not be the baby room, that would be the kids' room. That would be probably that's a small kitchen. I would probably take that wall down and widen this out a little bit. Yeah. So what I would probably do is first of all do that. And then here slide this along and just make it a tad bigger. But then it doesn't really look right, does it? So I don't know if I'm a big fan of this build. It looks nice, but I just feel like there's stuff missing. So I would probably like, this would have to be an all-in-one. So I don't think, even though this is supposed to be the 100 Baby Challenge starter, like, I'm not sure how this would be. To me, it just seems like the layout seems weird. So we'll go on to the next one here. Like, I just can't picture. Alright, hold up, wait a minute, let us get some beats in it. And by that, what I mean is, we're just going to rotate and move a bit. Oh, we can't. Okay. So this one's gonna be weird as all get out, but that's fine. Can we not have the outlines? Thank you. So, living room, master bedroom. Again, this is just, it's not. Nope, I don't like this one either. I just like maybe living room, kitchen, and then no, I can't. I like the layout, but I can't. Let's just look at the next one. Okay, so tiny as all get out. And see, I can kind of see the layout here, and then this could be where infants and stuff are laid out. But the problem is, I feel like it's small enough to where we could probably do more with it. So like, we could definitely expand this room out maybe a little bit. And then let's get, alright, so like let's say if we have like 2 infants, and then the baby can always be like in the room, and then what if we had 2 toddles and then a bunk bed. I don't know if it'll be big enough, because if we do the bunk bed, which I always like doing this one, I just feel like, oh, I don't know, it just doesn't, I feel like we wouldn't really have room. So I think the maximum you can have at one time is 3 when you have triplets. And that's with no mods. So I'm trying to factor that into my head, because what I want to be able to do is, you know, obviously the goal is to have as many babies as possible. And I'm not doing it to where like it's only one matriarch that we ever have. You know, you're designed to have multiple. And I definitely want the chaos to be where trying to think. Sorry, I'm just trying to think. I don't know where I was going with that, but anyhow. And I know there's like a couple rules for this challenge where they say like, you know, oh, well, if your infant you know, I think one of the rules is here it is. An infant aged up with the unhappy infant trait is a challenge fail. We're going to be ignoring that just because it has been pretty buggy lately. So it's going to be hard to do. That would be a very tiny ass bathroom. But I think they'd be kind of in here. So I would probably knock that wall down. See, again, like, it's cute, but for the purpose of what we're doing, this is not gonna work. Unless I just made this one big room, and that's not what I want to do. Oh, I don't think I picked anything that'd really be suitable, did I? This might have been a disaster. Like, well, this could potentially work. That's gonna be bathroom. This is the kitchen area. And this can be the living space. That can be all where the kids are. So if we did, okay, let's for argument's sake add some bunk beds. So 2, 4, 6, and then we add, let's see, a couple toddle beds. I mean, so it could work. We might just have some difficulties. And then how big of a bed can fit in here? Because I definitely want to give him like a decent bed. Yeah, it looks like it can work. Like, I definitely want to do like maybe like that bed. This is not uncomfortable, unlike some of these others. Could also do that one. So maybe. This one's a definite maybe. So this one's the 2-bedroom, 1 bath. And then here's 101 Park Road, which I'm kind of noticing that'd be the kitchen, living room. Kind of have the same problem. What do I have on my thing for this? I do have this one. Let's take a look. I think this is from when I originally did it. So let's take a look. Yeah, so I already had it pretty much set up. So we could probably just do the one I had from before. Only problem is if we get a third, God help us all. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And we can always reorganize that room. The idea would be eventually we would move into a bigger house. So that's not completely off kilter. Neither would this one. I'm just trying to be careful not to look at my fancier builds. Here's another possible. This is my wedding cake build. Okay. Here's... That's too much. No. I just got PTSD from looking at that. So I think maybe that build could work. One of the older ones I had. But we could also technically do this one too. I feel like though what if I want to go back to 2-bedroom, 1 bath for a moment. There is definitely room, I feel, for a basement. So I do like this one. I'm going to go ahead and start decorating it. And we'll kind of see how this goes. I hope you guys got some snacks, because we're going to be for a long haul on this one. Okay, so let's see here. I think I like this TV stand. I have to be mindful of the TV. I mean, if it's a little bit over 20K, I'm not going to be like about it. But I definitely want to make sure we have it set up at least somewhat decent. So study, I think we will do. No. We'll just do this kind of desk, that kind of chair, and then we'll just do the hoopty computer. Okay. And then, because we need a tub, we are going to need a bathtub. And we're going to need a toilet. And do we even have enough room for a frickin' sink? Yeah, we do. Basic bathroom. We'll do this. We will give him a dresser. And then, I always like doing the spellcaster bassinet, because whatever. Alright, and then kid room. We are going to start with uno, dos, tres. Because the way I'm going to be pumping this guy up, oh, he might be suffering a little bit. All I'm going to say. I don't even know who it's going to be. I actually had a funny thought that we might use my husband's sim. Because that would be funny to see how that goes. Oh, that would just be delicious. We might just do it. We might just do it. Alright, and then I think I'll go ahead and just put some of these play mats down. And then we'll do some books. Okay. So, yeah. But pretty much with the 100 baby challenge, all this really is giving birth to 100 children with as many, as few generations possible. And they can't really have a normal job. So this is gonna be funny. Okay, so now I'm just trying to think for the kitchen. I don't want to do the super bare bone counters. But we are going to have to do the bare bones fridge and shit. Not that one. Smoke alarm. Why? Because leave it to my Sims to start fires, guys. And that's what we need. A death! Okay. So, now that we have that, I guess we need like a dining area, I guess. What I'm thinking is like doing that, and then I don't know if I like that though. Like, usually I use one of the longer tables. Yeah, we'll use the reclaimed. Why not? And then we can use the dilapidated chairs. There we go. That works. So just in case. Alright, so we're a few dollars over. That's fine. So let me look at my husband's sim real quick. Well, before we do that, let me... Yep. Okay. So I'm gonna go ahead quickly and upload this into my gallery. Okay. So now we'll look at my husband's sim here real quick. Can you tell I like Yoshi? Huh. Where's my husband's sim? I had... Oh, there he is. Self-assured, romantic, and geek. Yep. So, yeah, this is the one I made jokingly based off my husband for Kelsey's 100 Baby Challenge. But never got used, so we might as well use them. And like I said, the way we're going to do this is let's go ahead and go into a new save and we can set it up and I can show you. So we're gonna do new game. No thanks. Cannon. Okay, so the way we're gonna do this is become pregnant. And we're gonna make it to where no jealousies triggers happen. So now okay, I might just have to plunk him somewhere and just redo his funds. Is this a 30 by 20? Technically a 40 by 30. I'm cheating, shut up. I know we didn't really ideally make it for this slot, but we can still probably use it. So, at least for now. Aw, oh, crap. How badly did that screw up? Forgot BB move objects was not on. It doesn't look like I've completely messed it up. Okay. At least we'll have room to be able to expand. So, the biggest rules is that he cannot have a job outside the house. It has to be a work-from-home career. I forgot which one of those are. Frick, I wrote Sims 3, not Sims 4. He could just do a freelancer. But there are a few that let you work from home primarily. But we'll have him do freelancing, I think, for programming. It'll probably be the easiest one for him to learn. And the idea is going to be... There's a fertile trait. We're going to make it to where he does it eventually. So now, we need to, for our next setup part, is we're going to go plant some baby daddies. Which I already have a few ideas. Alright. So now, we're going to go to Willow Creek. I'm going to go to my gallery. And we're going to plant... So, for one thing, I am planting my friends. Some of them have guys we can get pregnant with. It's going to be funny if they're watching this right now. I believe they're married. We'll plop them anyways, why not? We'll plop him at one of the single ones. Those are Sims I made as a joke. Yeah. They're my personalities. I'll plop them in, why not? Shut up, it was a fantasy I had. Fuck off. I can feel the judgment from here. We'll add... Yeah. These are two of my friends that passed away in real life. We'll add them as potentials. That just kind of made me a little sad, but I'm trying to... Oh yeah, let's add Emmerich. We'll add him here. I'm going to fill this up a bit. Okay, so I think that's fine. Let's go ahead and seed Oasis Springs here as well. And if you guys have families you want to use, just do hashtag Shiv, SHIV, 100 baby challenge. Please and thank you. So, we'll add Scooby-Doo, because why not? I'm not going to add too many. We could add some of these. Some of the vampire spawn, why not? I think we'll add them in Forgotten Hollow, though. Because vampires. Alright, let's see. What else we got? We could add Astarion and Gale. Well, we could add all of the Baldur's Gate characters, really, as potential baby daddies. Why not? We'll add them here. Oops. Okay. And then we are going to add... I mean, we could... Yeah, we'll add this one. We'll add them. We'll add this family, why not? There are a bunch of school kids, but there's males in there. Okay. So I'm just adding a sprinkle. 'Cause why not? Oh, that would be funny. We get my husband, Patrick, impregnated with Professor Snape. Oh, this is gonna be so much fun now. Thank God he's not gonna ever see this. He's never gonna see this, ever. It's gonna be funny. He's never gonna see this. YouTuber, Mr. B, Steven, Sniper Wolf. Chemo not here. No, we're not gonna do that. Oh, here we go. A bunch of single guys. We'll go ahead and plop them here. And then we'll sprinkle someone into one more world here. And that's the secret agent family, I think, because, like I said, most are guys. So we'll place them here. There we go. Alright, so we've got this world set up pretty good. We've got our patriarch, who's going to be able to get pregnant. We have it set up and ready for some gameplay. But I will do that next episode. So, thanks for watching the setup. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and stay tuned for the next episode. Okay, thanks, bye.